It's fight night. It's fight night. Somebody go win night night. What's going on, everybody? Man, it's your boy Real Talk Live Sports, aka the Ghetto Stephen A. Man, we back at it with another one, man. It is one day before Ryan Garcia faces the savvy UK veteran southpaw Luke Campbell suit. Just playing on the Campbell suit. But it should be a fantastic fight, ladies and gentlemen. Coming into the new year, I know both guys want to perform at the highest level, A, B. They both want to take on the top tier in the lightweight division. You already heard Ryan Garcia calling out Gervonta Tank Davis, talking about he wants to be the first person to knock Tank out. And I gotta give it to the young guy, man, because check it out. It ain't too many people, number one, calling out Tank. Number two, saying they gonna knock him out or they want to knock Tank Davis out. Now, can Tank be knocked out? Of course. Anybody can go to sleep. Just like that. You get caught with the right shot. Look what Tank did to Leo. But Leo got sloppy and Tank made him pay. Man, I feel bad for Leo, man. That was ugly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as the picture just shot in my head, I'm remembering he was on the floor, man. His leg was back. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he was about to do the windmill, like he was breakdancing or something, halfway out the ring, under the ropes. Terrible, 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 terrible. But Leo know the game, man. You know what I'm saying? You win some, you lose some, you knock some out. Sometimes you get knocked out. So he went to sleep that night. But moving on, Ryan Garcia has had his share of knockouts. Now, will he catch Luke Campbell with that lightning left hook? Who knows? Ryan Garcia, that check left hook has become a staple part of his arsenal. But if you watch him on a Cobra bag, you know what I'm saying, or whatever they call that, speed bag on a spring, Ryan Garcia is devastatingly fast, but he's also accurate, fight fans. He's fast, he has power because speed equates to power, but his hand-eye coordination is impeccable. And for somebody to have that much speed and to be that accurate, you know what I mean? That is a deadly combination. Now, I've also seen that he has been working on his combinations as well as his upper body movement. So like I said, he's learning some things over there with Eddie Reynoso, man. You know what I'm saying? And Team Canelo. So since he's been training at Camp Canelo, Ryan Garcia is looking like a different fighter, quite literally. Like I said, he's probably in the best shape of his life. You know what I mean? Quite yet hasn't reached his peak, but he's on his way. And let me tell you something. Once Ryan Garcia reaches his peak, he is going to be scary talented if he keeps his mind right. Now, I have to salute him because he has came out and said that he has suffered with anxiety severely. That's something that has been somewhat hindering him, but I won't say that it has been holding him back. And that constitutes as to have a strong mind and a strong will. That's what you need to be a true fighter and a great champion. So although Ryan Garcia is young, I do believe that he has some tools to make him a great champion, man, to make him a great young champion. And as he develops and gets seasoned in the fight game, I think that's only going to help him moving forward. So he has a bright future, man. He's very talented, very fast, very explosive. And you need that in the lightweight division because the lightweight division is packed with talent. Now, Tank being able to go from 135 down to 130, you know what I'm saying? He kind of has that, well, not like Canelo, because Canelo can, you know what I'm saying, he can go front, back, side to side, you know what I mean, and bump into a good fight. Tank can only go up and down. So, Ryan Garcia, and I do believe with the following, the social following that Ryan Garcia has, his YouTube channel has almost already, I believe, like almost 800,000 subs. You know what I'm saying? So, and I believe like on Instagram and all that, he has millions of followers. So Ryan Garcia, don't sleep. With the fans and the attention and the draw that he has the potential to make some noise. Because as they say, if you can put him in them seats, put him in them stands, get him to come through that gate and buy that ticket, you're gonna have a bright future in boxing. Now, Ryan Garcia has that ability. Now, Luke Campbell, as I said, savvy UK veteran coming over here to basically dethrone the young champion. Can he do it? Luke Campbell, being a southpaw, if he approaches this fight correctly, I told you guys, go back and check out the previous video. If he comes into this fight in the best shape of his life, he can give Ryan Garcia a good fight. The only thing that is going to nullify his efforts, if Ryan Garcia comes into this fight also in fantastic shape, but willing and smart enough to execute the game plan that Eddie Reynoso and company has put down for him to follow. Now, when game plans go out the window, and you got to step up and you got to fight and you got to pretty much, as they say, man, let it all hang out. You know what I'm saying? Will he succeed? That is the key. That's what I'm looking for in this fight. I called it earlier. Now, if Ryan Garcia gets him out of there in under 5 rounds, somebody better give me an award. Because I'm telling you, man, it's like it's like I'm a swami, man. But I'm telling you, Luke Campbell is going really have to count on his timing. His timing has to be key. That is going to be critical for him to not only win this fight, but have a chance at defeating Ryan Garcia's speed. Because Ryan Garcia also, as I said, has been working on this movement, you know what I'm saying? Throwing his punches and shots at different angles. I've seen him contouring his right hand, you know what I'm saying? Instead of fully extending the right hand, he's kind of like throwing it in at an angle. So that means he's going to try to catch Luke Campbell sidestepping and catching with a shot right on the chin, right through the glove, right through the side of the gloves, and catching right on the chin. So that tells me he's been working, like I said, on his movement, his foot movement, his punch placement. So Eddie Reynoso has him doing some different things, not only for this camp, but as far as his developmental process. Canelo also has been giving him some tips in reference to going to the body. Somebody that fast and that explosive, if he becomes dominant as far as being a body puncher, that's going to be scary. I mean, truly scary. Because if he learn how to let his hands go, which, like I said, Eddie Reynoso is cultivating that side of his game, he's going to be scary, fight fans. So let me tell you something. Luke Campbell, initially he's going to have to keep his distance, fill Ryan Garcia out. If he tries to come in and bully Ryan Garcia, I believe he's probably going to walk into something that is going to hurt him drastically. It is going to change the level of the fight in an instant. If he gets caught with the shot being reckless and rushing in, he's going to have to utilize his experience as well as his range and basically and kind of wear Ryan Garcia down. He's going to have to pick his shots, you know what I'm saying, the first few rounds. And like I said, as the fight progresses and he gets to the fourth round, the fifth round, then start to open it up a little bit. Put your foot on the gas, you know what I'm saying? And see how Ryan Garcia deals with the up-tempo, the increased pressure. Will he become reclusive, or will he meet you head on? And will you guys clash? Now, Ryan Garcia isn't truly known for his inside game, but like I said, he's been working on going to the body. Now, if he has been working on his inside game, like I said, with his speed, all he has to do is adjust, do a couple of simple movements as far as his footwork, and get to the side of Luke Campbell, and he lets his hand go, and he gets one of those left hooks to the body, one of those right hooks, is going to be ugly. But fight fans, I don't know. Gotta put the Swami back. Put the Swami on. Let me touch and get some luck. I truly believe that there's a chance that Luke Campbell may get lucky and catch Ryan Garcia with a shot, and I'm gonna tell you why. Ryan Garcia, at this point and at this stage of his career, he is a bit overzealous. You know what I'm saying? Because he is, I won't say he's truly looking past Luke Campbell, but he's been doing a lot of talk about he's going to destroy Luke Campbell, and he has the possibility and capabilities of doing so. But he's looking past Luke Campbell a little bit too vividly. You know what I'm saying? He needs to kind of retract a little bit and humble himself. Because if Luke Campbell catch him with a certain shot, Luke Campbell does have power. He does have power, and he can box. He's just not as quick and explosive as Ryan Garcia. But like I said, if he utilizes his timing correctly and keeps Ryan Garcia at the end of his jab, he can possibly set Ryan Garcia up for something nice. But like I said, he's going to have to be careful. Watch his movement, watch his foot placement, because Ryan Garcia, his check left hook, is going to be waiting for Luke Campbell to put himself in the wrong angle, and he's going to catch him. And when he catch him, he's going to hurt him. Now, if he hurts Luke Campbell, there's two different stages of that. If he hurts him standing up, Luke Campbell is going to get on that bike. He's going to move away, or he's going to tie him up, depending upon when he get hit with the shot. If he falls away, or if he falls into him, he's going to wrap him up. If he falls away, he's going to get on his bike. You know what I'm saying? So Ryan Garcia at that point is going to have to cut the ring off, depending upon how hurt he is. Cut that ring off. You know what I mean? Start touching him down to the body. Start touching him upstairs. Close that distance. Once he gets close to that corner, or get him in that corner, he's going to box him in and unload, try to take him out. So Luke Campbell is going to have to be careful. He's going to have to utilize his jab in that southpaw stance. Watch his foot placement, man. Make sure that you always stay on that outside. If you stay on that inside, you're going to have to watch out for his right hand. Now, that right hand of Ryan Garcia, it may be the sleeping giant, because everybody knows his check left hook can knock you out. But see, it would be smart to work on your left hand and sinking your shots. You know what I'm saying? Putting a couple of shots together. That's one thing that's what I spoke about Danny Garcia. That no look left hook that he does, you have to get past that. So the right hand that he's been developing, he's going to have to continue to work on that, because when guys are expecting one shot, you're not going to have much. So Luke Campbell, him being a southpaw, he's going to have to utilize that jab, but at the same time, he's going to have to put a couple of punches together. I don't think he's fast enough to unload a sequence of punches. I'm talking about like hitting like a 3-piece, a 4-piece, a 5-piece. I don't think he's that quick, but he can most certainly get a 2 to 3 shot combo off And depending upon where he catches Ryan Garcia, he could potentially wake him up. And if he catches him flush with something, he could potentially hurt him. Because Luke Campbell may not have the speed, but he does have power. He does have power. So, my opinion, make sure that you focus on the body. Because I believe that Ryan Garcia is going to focus on the body attack. Definitely want to mix it up. But the body attack should be principal for Luke Campbell. You got to take some of that wind out of Ryan Garcia's sails. You know what I'm saying? You got to make it hard for him to throw those shots. So you're going to have to soften up that breadbasket a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Make it hard for him to bring them gloves up to throw those shots. You know what I'm saying? Because when you throw certain shots, your ribs, all that stuff contracts. So if you tear his body up, it's going to make him hard to get those punches off, and he's going to automatically lose speed. He's going to have to lose speed. He's going to lose speed. But if he doesn't focus on the body and just try to headhunt, try to knock Ryan Garcia out, I believe that he's going to have a long night, number one. And number two, Ryan Garcia is quick enough and explosive enough to use that strategy against him and wind up catching Luke Campbell with a shot. Now, which man has the better traps? Who knows? But Luke Campbell, you have to set Ryan Garcia up because he's fast. You know what I'm saying? And I want to see how his movement is going to improve in this fight. Because if Ryan Garcia gets into the bad game and starts trying to trap Luke Campbell, it can be an early night. But Ryan Garcia is not known for that. But like I said, he's with Eddie Reynoso now. So he's learning a lot of different techniques and things that he wasn't doing before. Now he's doing these things. So moving forward, Ryan Garcia has the potential to be scary in the lightweight division. Because hypothetically speaking, if he faces Tank Davis, and let's just say that's an excellent fight, back and forth. Tank actually catches him with some shots. Ryan Garcia is actually tough enough to get through those shots, but Ryan Garcia catches Tank with some shots, and he hurts Tank. And hypothetically, let's just say, just for the narrative for the story, what if he gets Tank out of there? Who's going to be next? Because people, besides Ryan Garcia, people would like to see Teofimo Lopez and Tank Davis. Devin Haney gets sprinkled in there, you know what I mean? Somewhere here, somewhere there. But if he knocks Tank out and gets Tank out of there, Ryan Garcia is going to be sitting in a very, not only good, but pivotal position, allowing him to do some very nice things, and make a lot of money. Let's not forget that. Because Teofimo is special. He's special. Now, you're not going to always have to, you're not always going to be able to, let me correct myself, rely on your speed if you're Ryan Garcia. So that's where having actual boxing talent and knowing how to cut off the ring and utilize your speed and your footwork and your movement and tie all these things together, that is what's going to determine how successful you are. If you look at some of these videos right here, some of these clips, and you see a little bit of the movement that I'm talking about. But keep in mind, that's training. Training and in a real fight is something totally different. But if you look at some of these clips, you can see, possibly, if you've been watching and following his career, not only the progression, but some of the things that Ryan Garcia has been working on. I'm pretty sure they're not going to give away too much when these different content creators come around and they start filming and they start uploading to, their respective YouTube channels. He's not going to show them too much. But from what he did show and the things that I did see, like I said, you can tell that Ryan Garcia has learned some things, some new things. being over there with Eddie Reynoso. And Eddie Reynoso is a very, very good coach. A lot of people have Coach Derek James is being pretty much the coach of the year. You know what I'm saying? He has both Charlo brothers and Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? So he has 3 top tier champions in his stable who has been winning and defending their respective titles. You know what I mean? It's not like they just won a title and now they chilling. No, these dudes have been defending their titles. Errol Spence took down Sean Porter. Unfortunately, after that, he had the tragic accident. A lot of people thought that he wasn't going to be back, wasn't going to be the same. Lord knows I had my own questions about where he was physically and mentally. I have to be honest. But I also have to be honest and say that I'm glad that he looked spectacular, especially over Danny Garcia. And I love Danny Garcia, man, because he's from Philly, just like I am. You know what I'm saying? Everything in me would like to rep and put Danny Garcia up here as far as being on a pedestal. But at the end of the day, when he fought Errol Spence, he did not show up. He did not look very good in that fight. Wasn't sharp at all. You know what I'm saying? He had to get on the inside and beat Errol Spence up and kind of wear him down, kind of throw him around, move him around a little bit. But he let Errol Spence put that piston of a jab in his face the whole fight, as well as whatever else Errol Spence had in his arsenal. And Errol Spence hand placement in that fight, being up in high guard, like I said, he parried a lot of Danny's punches, you know what I'm saying, and was just brushing them off. So Errol, he did his thing in that fight. But getting back to the lightweight division, Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing. He has Devin Haney Promotions. I think Devin Haney actually and Ryan Garcia, I would rather see that fight before he fights Tank. Honestly. Because a lot of people have Devin Haney as not only being special, but he's kind of like the guy nobody's mentioning. Like he's kind of garnering that kind of attention. Like nobody's really mentioning his name, but at the same time he is that guy. You know what I'm saying? Smart young champion. You know what I'm saying? Very talented fighter and boxer. Developing his punch. You know what I'm saying? Last couple of fights, putting dudes, you know what I'm saying, to sleep. I forgot the name of the fighter, but I remember when he caught him with that shot, overhand shot, and knocked him out on the ropes. You know what I'm saying? So Devin Haney is developing and crafting his power. So once you start to fuse, you know what I'm saying, superior boxing talent with power, you're going to be very, very hard to beat. Very hard to beat. Now, Ryan Garcia is the same thing. He has that length, has speed, but the power that he has is generated from his speed, inertia. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he gets physically stronger, which he may have to go up in weight, and if he's able to carry that speed with him, I believe that's what you are going to see. So I don't think that Ryan Garcia is going to be around in the lower weight classes for the longevity, of his career. I think eventually he may be at the 140. You know what I mean? Maybe he may try to do his thing with the 140 pounders. You know what I'm saying? I can definitely see Ryan Garcia doing this thing with the 140 pounders, man. His frame, you know what I'm saying? It's physically, he can put that weight on and be comfortable. He's not lazy in the gym. Eddie Reynoso does not have him just standing around, looking around, you know what I'm saying, getting interviewed. No, Eddie Reynoso has him active, doing something at all times when he is in the gym. So that weight is going to come down, is going to come off. So Ryan Garcia, man, moving forward, fight fans, the fight takes place tomorrow. Wish it was tonight, but it's tomorrow, man. The fight is only moments away from your TV or wherever you stream your prospective content for the fight. Does Luke Campbell have a chance? Of course. Any fighter has a chance once he steps into that ring, even though whoever may be on the A side of things, it doesn't matter. Everybody has the potential to knock the other guy out. Who's going to get caught with that shot first? And once you get caught with that shot, are you going to eat it? Can you take it, shake it off, continue to fight? You know what I'm saying? That is what a true champion does. But once your bell get rocked, and then you get on that bike and you start running around and like, no, that's going to tell me and your opponent everything that they need to know, because now I know that you're hurt and you're scared, you're afraid. So as soon as I put hands on you, I know you're going to run, you're going to be timid, you're not going to engage anymore. So doing that, you have to be careful, because if somebody possesses that long range talent and game and don't got to be necessarily up in your face to still get shots off, like I said, Errol Spence with that jab, if you can utilize your jab correctly, you know what I'm saying, throwing it to the body, throwing it an up jab, you know what I'm saying, throwing it straight down the pipe, throwing it at an angle. If you can master your jab in all angles in the fight, that's going to make you scary. And with Ryan's speed, if he learns how to utilize his jab as a supreme tool, just like his left hook, he's going to be very tough to beat, fight fans. So moving forward, the fight is taking place January 2nd. I can't wait, man. It is going to be super, super explosive. Super explosive. So shout out to Ryan Garcia, man. Shout out to Luke Campbell. I wish both guys, you know what I'm saying, safety, blessings, prayers, so they can go in there, put on a good fight, but at the same time, get out safely and peacefully. You know what I'm saying? With everything going on out here, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's dangerous. And you know, Luke Campbell, he had COVID-19 at one point. So physically, is he ready? Is his body at 100%? Will he gas out? Because you know, the coronavirus, it affects your lungs and stuff like that. So how is his stamina going to be? Will Ryan Garcia put the pressure on to test that notion? Now, if he does, that's not only smart, but what will Luke Campbell do once Ryan Garcia becomes the aggressor and tries to get him to use his legs more so he can get out the way, so he can get him tired? Now, conditioning. Who's going to be the better conditioned athlete? If Luke Campbell is in supreme shape, I'm telling you, he's going to give Ryan Garcia a hard fight. But if he's not in supreme shape, then Ryan Garcia is going to get him out of there, as I said, in under 5 rounds. And it won't be fairly difficult. So fight fans, moving forward, man, everybody stay blessed, stay humble, stay motivated, protect yourself all times, mask up, keep your guard up, protect yourself, because it's a war going on outside and no one is safe from it, fight fans. So if you are going to enjoy the fight, streaming, otherwise, or in person, be safe out there. You know what I'm saying? Spread love, not hate. Spread love and not the Rona. You dig what I'm saying? So it's going to be a good fight. And generally, I like to ride with the, you know what I'm saying, somebody's a southpaw. You know I'm a southpaw, so you got to stick and show love to your southpaw affiliates. But to be honest, man, I do like and respect Luke Campbell. But at the same time, I'm going to put my money on Ryan Garcia. I'm going to put my money on the kid. You dig what I'm saying? I want to see how he steps up, because this is his first notable competition and fight. I want to see how he steps up and steps on that stage and gets it done, because it's going to tell me a whole hell of a lot if he's able to go in there and do that and look impressive doing it. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.